Good morning. We welcome you to the live stream celebration of our homecoming prayer service. I am happy you can join Christian Brothers High School for this celebration. We pause now to honor and acknowledge that Christian Brothers High School sits in the land of the Nisenan, meaning my side of the river. The indigenous people existed throughout the Sacramento region, the southern Maidu, the Valley Miwok, and Miwok people located on the east side of the American River, known to tribal people as the McCollum or the Condor River, and to the west of the American River and the south of the Sacramento are the Patwin, the Wintun, and the Wintu people. These people trace their ancestors to the Central Valley, the foothills, and all sides of the American and Sacramento rivers. Today we remember their connection to Sacramento County, and we give thanks for the opportunity that we have to live, work, learn, and pray on their traditional homeland. Let us take a few moments of silence to pay honor and respect and to open our hearts to their elders, to all Nisenan, Maidu, Miwok, Patwin, Wintun, and Wintu people of the past and the present.
When we hear homecoming, we typically think of dances and class competitions. Homecoming originated as the celebration of alumni coming home to their high school. Here at CB, this means coming home to our Lasallian tradition and embracing our unity as brothers and sisters. We do this with an open heart in response to our call to love. Please begin by sitting up comfortably with your eyes following along with our prayer leaders. Quiet your thoughts, set your intention. As is our tradition at Christian Brothers High School, we begin with our Lasallian invocation.
Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God.
Souvenons-nous, nous sommes dans le centre présence de Dieu. Souvenons-nous, nous sommes dans le centre présence de Dieu.
St. John Baptist de La Salle reminded us that we could consider God present in the place where we are because Jesus said, "Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. As we light this candle, may it remind us of your abiding presence and grant us an open heart that we may endure in our call to love God and each other.
Una lectura de Evangelio según San Lucas. Sucedió que por aquellos días se fue él al monte a orar, y se pasó la noche en la oración de Dios. Cuando se hizo de día, llamó a sus discípulos y eligió 12 de entre ellos, a los que llamó también apóstoles. A Simón, a quien llamó Pedro, y a su hermano Andrés, a Santiago y Juan, a Felipe y Bartolomé, a Mateo y Tomás, a Santiago de Alfeo y Simón, llamado Celotes, a Judas de Santiago. La palabra del Señor.
God has chosen me, God has chosen me, to set alight a new fire. God has chosen me, God has chosen me, to bring to birth a new kingdom on earth. God has chosen me, chosen me. and to tell the world that God's kingdom is near, to remove oppression and break down fear. Yes, God's time is near. God's time is near. God's time is near. God's time is near.
God has chosen me, God has chosen me, to set alight a new fire. God has chosen me, God has chosen me, to bring to birth a new kingdom on earth. God has chosen me, and to tell the world that God's kingdom is near, to remove oppression and break down fear. Yes, God's time is near. God's time is near. God's time is near. God's time is near.
The homecoming. Every year our teams celebrate coming home in their competition schedule, and yes, the dance with their royalties. I'm reminded of another homecoming that I witnessed throughout the year. Faces I used to see around the campus, now more mature with a spark of experience in the eye, come for a brief moment to say hello. They roam our school grounds, check the old familiar places, pour out memories. Those people who can proudly put a vintage year behind their last name, the LaSallians. I asked one of them what makes them go into this trouble to hold the fast-running train of their now adult lives and come back here for a visit. The answer was simple: this is home. You may say he meant for sure that this is just one of many homes in their lives. I think when we are fortunate to experience just one such home, we are lucky. We have a chance of building a similar one someday for others who need it. Every home is defined by a place, name, those who dwell within, those who belong, and the reason why it is they, precisely they, who belong. Here at Christian Brothers on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Sacramento, brothers and sisters in the spring of life and brothers and sisters whose vocation keeps them young at heart join in the adventure of a saint inspired long ago to gather those who did not have a chance to dare for an education into one LaSallian family. Our founder had one reason to care for his pupils, one reason to gather them all and to commission us to do the same now in many places throughout the globe. We all belong to God. Pope Francis in his most recent encyclical uses many words to reflect on aspects of this underlying fact that we have one Father. In paragraph 272 of Fratelli Tutti we read, quote, "As believers we are convinced that without an openness to the Father of all, there will be no solid and stable reasons for an appeal to fraternity. We are certain that only with this awareness that we are not orphans but children can we live in peace with one another. For reason by itself is capable of grasping the equality between men and of giving stability to their civic coexistence, but it cannot establish fraternity." End of quote. These words make me realize anew that equality and stable coexistence are safeguarded by the fraternity, this sense of belonging together, which only comes through openness to God, the Father of all. We daily profess that we are in the holy presence of God. Let us take these words to heart and learn to really mean them. The more we strive to acknowledge that fact, the more we make it our own, the more we will experience its unifying force. We will not only use the words, but in Him we will be recreated as brothers and sisters with a legacy, with the promise of eternal inheritance in the communion of saints. May we fall back on this truth every time we experience our own or others' frailty within this campus. And may our thanks and praise remember Him at time we savor His blessing, His beauty, and His greatness through a fellow CB soul. I suspect in the hearts of many of us, one single experience, one instance, will decide whether we will remember this place in our hearts as a home, or whether we push and hide it down below as some infamous battleground. Such is the power we hold in our hands. We can build up, or tear apart. I trust that we at CB handle this power with great responsibility, faithful to our Father's name, for God is love. Today we decide about the hearts of our fellow brothers and sisters. Will they be gifted a home, or will they be robbed of it? Yesterday I was looking at heaven, and up in the sky I suddenly noticed a flock of geese following their annual route home. As I watched them, I saw them forming a large V shape in the sky. I remember a documentary explaining how the birds on their long journey conserve energy by flying in this formation. Leading bird breaks through the air, so those behind it have less resistance of the air and can fly more easily. When the leading bird gets tired, another takes its place in turn. I offer you this as the image of our Lasallian family, remembering that we enter to learn and leave to serve. Dear Lasallian, please know that there is time when our family needs you to step it up and lead the way. Please know that many behind you rely on you knowing and learning the way and being strong in facing the hardship. Take your place with courage. We trust you. You are in a real family. Also, know your limits and don't be ashamed to recognize the time when you must allow your brother or sister to take the lead and allow you to rest. We hope we have your trust. We all need to work hard. The journey is challenging. Success doesn't come easy. May you never feel alone. Those who soared through this place witness that we have what it takes, that we, too, can make it home, for we never travel alone. In our Father we, though many, are one, brothers and sisters, Lasallian Catholic family. Let us celebrate that gift.
So on the surface, the sign enter to learn, leave to serve, it could seem like that just applies to your high school career. I certainly thought so when I was here, but I have come to learn that being Lasallian really means to have that kind of mindset in your everyday life, in every phase and every season.
When I think about it, what it means to be a Lasallian is caring for others as much as yourself. It's on our tower. Enter to learn, leave to serve others. It's in our core principles: respect for all persons, inclusive community, concern for the poor and social justice. Being a Lasallian means considering others.
For me, the most important part of being Lasallian is really sharing with someone the gift of your time. Not just walking by and saying hello, but honestly taking a moment to understand what a person might be going through and to try to help them in any way that you can.
Being part of the Lasallian community means caring for one another, being faithful in our decision making, and sharing a deep love of community.
For me, being a Lasallian means touching the hearts of my students.
To me, the most important part about being a Lasallian is our commitment to and practice of respect for all persons. I believe this to be an important part of any functioning community. It helps to create trust and safety, and we need it to thrive.
What makes being part of the Lasallian community special for me is being at this school, being around you guys. In class, when I see you guys in the quad, when I see you guys at games, when I see you guys interacting with one another. That's what makes this place special. That's what gives it the charism that it has. That's what makes the Lasallian community different and special.
Being Lasallian is a calling, a vocation. It's like being called by Saint Jean-Baptiste de La Salle himself. The 5 core principle is our guiding help to be able to live the best version of who we are.
To be a LaSallian means we support each other, we care about each other, we work through conflicts. What comes to mind is the understanding of servant leadership, that we serve each other to the same end, to the same goal. And that's to love our students, to love our community. The human factor is always there, and that's for me is what prayer is for, my connection with God. It helps me to be a better LaSallian. And for me, that's a very critical part of who I am. Being a LaSallian is doing service for me. Being a LaSallian is having a relationship with my students outside the classroom. Being a LaSallian is listening to the little callings I have, to do service with others, just to love my neighbor. And trying to listen to those and follow through with those, that's very critical for me being a LaSallian.
I bring the gift of compassion to our CB community.
The gift I bring to the CB community is creativity.
The gift I bring to the community is my sense of humor and love of science.
The gift that I bring to our CB community is patience and calm. Life can be unpredictable, and I think that my ability to stay calm and to be patient under different circumstances helps me to be a helpful part of our community.
What do I bring to the LaSallian community on this campus is affirmation. I want to support you guys in what you do here, in the school, in athletics. The main thing that I want to bring is affirmation so that you guys know people are caring about you.
The gift I bring to our community is dedication, a passion for working with young people, and a deep faith.
The gift I bring to the CB community is the gift of being an open listener. I love working with my students and hearing them out and not judging them on whatever's coming their way, but listening and helping them with whatever struggle they
bring to our community, in part, is my attempt to live out my faith. And I do that through service, I do that through prayer, I do that through an awareness or sensitivity to others, that if I see they're going through something, I try to invite them to a discussion or invite them to be present. And one of the beautiful things is that I can pray with people afterwards, and I can thank God for that person right in front of them, and I can just lift up that person's needs. And in the same way, I'm lifting mine up, and I'm connecting to God in that moment.
I am Mrs. Shorn, and I am a LaSallian.
I am Ms. Christensen, and I am a LaSallian.
I am Mr. Diaz, and I am a LaSallian.
I'm Miss Flaherty, and I'm a LaSallian.
I am Mrs. Brousseau, and I am a LaSallian.
I am Mrs. McDougall, and I am a LaSallian.
I am Mr. Hayes, and I am a LaSallian.
I am Mrs. Carpay, and I am a LaSallian.
I am Mr. Havey, and I am a LaSallian.
Saint Jean Baptiste de La Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts.